Hi everybody, I'm Ken. Harold is not with us yet. He's going to be in just a little bit, but this is How to Grill. Today, it's going to be a lot of fun for you. So we've done hamburgers, we've done chicken. Today, this is going to be a little more extensive, but I promise you it's easy and you can do this. Today, it is all about ribs. Who doesn't love incredible ribs? So there's a process, you look at it right now, how they look. There is a process that we're going to go through to get it to here, and I'm going to show you in just a second what I actually went through to get these ribs to where they're supposed to be. So let's actually take a look at how we prepared this really quickly. So let me show you what we did. First of all, when you get these, look at both sides of it. This side looks actually really good. Over here, you'll notice this piece hanging out here. You just want to get something, you just kind of want to cut off the end of that. You're not going to need that fat right there. Some of this other stuff, there's a little bit right here. You're not going to need that either. Now, there are plenty of other videos to explain how to do this. I'm going to attempt to do this right here. I'm just telling you, I'm not great at it. There's a bunch of people that are better, but this has a membrane. That's it. You see, I kind of pulled it up right there. So, if I go down here, you'll see there's just that little thin, super thin layer is the membrane of this. And we're going to attempt to get that off there. Pro tip that I learned from some people, and like I said, there's YouTube videos that'll show you how to do this way better than what I'm showing you right now. But we're going to pop this up right here. Get underneath there. And then I'm going to grab a hold of it with a paper towel. When you get a hold of it with a paper towel, it's much easier to actually remove it. Now I've got a hold of it there, and I'm just going to start peeling that. There it is right there. I'm going to start peeling that off. And I'm going to do that for the entire thing. There it is. You can see the edge of it right here. I'm going to get under here and peel that. So this is the membrane. That's what I'm doing right now, is peeling. Oh, get under. Here we go. There, now I've got it. And I wish the whole thing came off very easily. Sometimes it does, sometimes, there you go. Can you guys see that okay? There's the membrane coming off. And like I said, the paper towel really helps that process, and just pull. If you don't use a paper towel, it's super slippery and your hands will slip off of it, okay? So, there we go. That, I know, that's the membrane. Okay, now that that is off, we'll move that. Then I'm gonna do this really quickly. Let me dry my hands off. I'm gonna put our nitrile gloves on that Harold told us all about. And then we're gonna put the rub on here and the binders, okay? So, remember he talked about different kinds of binders. You can use olive oil on this, which is what I use most of all. But today, in honor of Harold, who told me that you gotta try this, Ken, we're using yellow mustard. I know you would think using mustard, man, you're ruining these ribs. Who wants mustard on ribs? Well, not me. I'll just tell you, I don't like mustard. I like mustard on hot dogs and hamburgers, but that's about it. But I'm putting it all over these ribs, because this is going to be what the sauce is going to stick to. And I have on good word from Harold, the pro expert, that this will absolutely not affect the taste at all of the ribs. The mustard will cook right out, okay? So, rubbing this all over here. And you can see it now on all sides. Let's get the edges too, because these are all the places that we want the barbecue rub to stick. Okay? And whoo! The mustard smell here is strong. All right. There it is, all over the ribs, all over this. Now I'm going to get rid of these. And today, I am using Killer Hogs, the barbecue rub. So I'm going to put this, I'm going to use this all over here, okay? And this is a very, is a sweet rub. So we're going to do sweet ribs today. There are people that do hot ones, and for those that like that, Killer Hogs also makes a hot barbecue rub. Now notice how it's sticking. that mustard is binding it to it, so it's sticking. So we're gonna get all sides of this. I'm gonna grab a couple more gloves over here because I didn't want all the mustard on my hands when I did that last one. So, let me get this on. Okay, want to make sure, look at that side. So I didn't really get that side right there. So you want to make sure that mustard helps you make it stick all the way around there and there. I say, gosh, Ken, you're using a lot of that. I am. That's what you're supposed to do. Okay? Notice I'm going to get that side right there. All that, you want all that sticking right there. Same thing, I'm going to hit the whole back side of this. And you want to be generous with this. Remember, this is a 6-hour cook that we're about to do on this thing. So you're going to need to make sure you hit all the sides, the edges, every bit of that with this stuff. Okay? Here, and now I'm just going to make sure I got this front edge as well. All the way around there. I've got plenty down here. But again, this is one place you don't want to skimp on the, because this is where a lot of your flavor is going to come from. It's going to cook in here. Now, next part for this is going to go in the refrigerator, and it's going to sit there for about an hour in the refrigerator, okay? So that'll come up next. We'll show you what to do right after this. Okay, so now you see the story of how we prepared this, and it's been in there for an hour. And look, if you look at these ribs, they're glistening. Okay, I haven't sprayed any water or anything on there. It's because that rub starts pulling the moisture out of this, okay? And it kind of gets this, we call it sweats, okay? The ribs start sweating, and that's what you want. The rub does the job for you in that. And these ribs are looking really good and getting ready to go on this grill, which is going to be ready in just a second. We're going to go out there and show you how we're going to get this grill ready. But for today, just realize the key for this is low and slow. These ribs do not cook quickly. This is a 6-hour cook. We're going to do it on the Kamado grill on the Big Green Egg today. We're going to show you how everything works and how we're going to do low and slow, how we're going to keep track of it for 6 hours. We're going to have to stand over this. No, we're not going to have to do that. I'm going to show you how I do it in just a second. So get ready. Today is all about some serious ribs. Okay, right here you'll see 1, 2, 3, 4 that are down in there. And I'm going to light these because I'm trying to get this even all the way around there. Oh, come on. There, that one's lit now. See, they're all kind of burning now. All right, now they're all lit. And I'm gonna take some of this Fogo and I'm gonna set it right on top, and I'm building something here too in the middle for it, because I want all this to stack up right here in the middle, and the flame to start here and then spread out. Remember, this is a long cook. Okay, you'll also notice right now as I'm doing this, flame's coming up. This is wide open right here. And then right over here, you'll notice that the vent's open. I want all the air going in and coming out up here. And I got charcoal hands. I'll clean those up, don't worry, before I touch the food. All right, heating up, ready to go. I'm going to show you something really cool with this. This is what I do. Now, people do low and slow and they monitor the temperature gauge, and we've seen this going on. Those are true pros. I'm not a pro. I'm an amateur, like a lot of you. So I use this thing. This thing is called a Flame Boss. There's one called Smobot. There is the Egg Genius. They all do the same thing. This is basically a temperature regulator for a Kamado grill. So here's how this is going to work. I'm going to take this little plate right here, and where the airflow is, right here, I'm going to put this in, and this creates a small hole right here. That's the hole that this is going to go into. There's a fan in here, okay? So it's electric. I'm going to plug it in right here. And then on the back of this, there's 2 holes. There's one obviously for the electrical input. And then there's one here that says pit and one here that says meat. So there are these probes that are here. These tell me exactly what the readout is, and this actually goes to my iPhone. Okay, I'm plugging in the one that says pit right now. This thing is plugged in, it's got a green light, which means it's going to start regulating, and that fan is already starting to blow. I'm going to put this down here. It just hooks right there very easily. And then this clip, you're going to see in a second, is going to go on there. Now, I've already heated up the big green egg, and it's really hot right now. Today, this is a cook, and we want to think this in terms of this for ribs. Low and slow. Low and slow, okay? It's not a race on this one. This is a long cook. This is going to be 6 hours long. So I've got these huge chunks. This is applewood. Applewood is very sweet. It gives a sweet taste to it, and that's what we want in the ribs. These are sweet ribs today. I'm going to throw these things in here just like this. All right, and then this is indirect, so the plate setter is going in next. That's indirect heat. It's going to hit that plate setter. I'm not hitting the ribs directly. Then this is going in. The grill, after that, I hook this on and clip it right there and then close it. I'm going to close this thing down right here. I'm closing almost all of the airflow because it's going to be regulated by this, okay? This is going to tell me, it's going to read out to my iPhone. And I'm going to show you just exactly in a second how that works. All right, if I go to the app right now, I know for a fact it's telling me exactly what the temperature is on there. It's telling me the output, and I can set that temperature. Right now, the set temperature for this, I'm going to set it at 225 degrees. 225 is the setting that I want, and I hit set. It just told me it's set successfully. So when the internal temperature of that on the grill, the actual grill, gets to 225, it's going to alarm me and tell me we're going to know it's ready to go on. Now you'll notice the big green egg today too, we're not using this as a grill. A grill means that the flame is hitting the meat and you're grilling it. This is more as an oven. It would be the indirect and then the heat going all the way around it. But in our case today, we're using this as a smoker, and you can see it's smoking. That's those apple chunks starting to heat up, and it's going to smoke the meat. So that's what's going on with this. As soon as this gets to 225, we're ready to throw those ribs on. I'll show that to you in just a second. Okay, let me show you one last thing I'm going to do to prepare this. I'm going to pull this out for a second, and it is very hot. I've got on these gloves, which, by the way, for Kamado grills, these are great accessories to have. You want these gloves that are, that no heat's going to get through. Well, some will, but these are really, really good. All right, now we are ready to go over here with the ribs. They're about to go on here, and again, low and slow is the key for this. So our goal today is to do what is called the 3-2-1 method. Let me explain what 3-2-1 means. It is the number of hours that it takes to do this. This first cook that we're going to do on these, it's going to be for 3 hours long, all right? Here they are, right here. Boy, those look beautiful. And we're going to set these right on top. What I added in there a second ago was a drip pan, because these ribs are going to drip down. I don't want all that stuff there. I want the drip pan to catch it. Now, I'm arranging these ribs exactly like I want them to be, okay? Whew, smoke strong. That is it. They are there. That's all there is to it. The ribs are set. Now, it's important, though, that I set those ribs straight on there, and you'll notice that I did that. The reason why is because how you set it is how they're going to cook. So if you put them on there crooked, the ribs are going to come out crooked. I set them on there as straight as I could, in a line. Now we are smoking these ribs. You can see the smoke coming out. That's the applewood, and that smell and that taste is going to start going into those ribs. Low and slow. I will see you back here in 3 hours. Okay, everybody, it has been 3 hours, so we're ready to look at this. You'll notice the gloves that I have on. These are the nitro gloves, but you'll see underneath it, I have some mittens. This is how I'm going to pick up some hot food. Another little tip for you. Let's look. Oh, wow. It's actually looking very, very good. You can see some, I'll pull it out here where you guys can see it. But if you look on the back side of this, there's some of I just kind of pull off some of those little black spots. Just kind of throw them away. You know, something for the birds later. But you can see it's starting to pull back from the bones here right now. That's what you want to see on these ribs cooking. I'll close this so it doesn't heat up too much for me. And now what we're going to do is we're going to prepare these ribs and kind of dress them a little bit for the next phase. That's the 3, 2, 1. So we've done 3. Here comes 2. This one I'm going to take some honey, and we are going to go over this just like this, giving it something to stick to. And of course, remember, we're doing sweet ribs today. So honey, obviously, is very sweet. Next, we're going to add some brown sugar. Brown sugar is going to stick to that honey, just like that. All the way down, and again, another little sweet additive that we're doing. Then I've cut into some little small squares some butter. That's going to go on top of all this. Just like that. We are going to hit it with a little more of our barbecue rub. This way. Because that is the good stuff. And I'm going to kind of form this just like this. I'm going to wrap these ribs up. This is heavy duty aluminum foil. It's restaurant style. And then I also have here, that I just picked up at the kids store, some apple juice. And I'm going to pour this not over it, but next to it. It's going to be like underneath. This is kind of what is going to, it's going to brazen this. Okay, so I poured the apple juice around there, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to wrap it. And I'm wrapping it, you can see, very snug, very tight. And I'm actually double wrapping this. So all the way around, just like this. And now we're ready for phase 2. We had the 3 method, now we've wrapped them, got them all ready, and then here we go in here. I'll see you in 2 more hours. Here we go. Okay, here we are. We're back 2 hours later. Now, again, we've been in the low and slow 3-2-1 method of ribs. So what is again 3-2-1? We cooked for 3 hours straight on the grill with the deflector plate in there, so it's indirect heat that's smoking the ribs. And then we pulled them off after 3 hours, and we wrapped them up in aluminum foil, put some of the barbecue rub on it, put some butter, honey, we put brown sugar in there, braised it with a little bit of apple juice, and now it's been 2 hours that it's been on here. We're going to pull this off and check out what we got. So I'm going to be very careful with that. Pull it straight off there. All right, because I don't want a lot of this stuff to leak out. It's going to be underneath here. So we're going to unwrap this carefully. And I can see some of the apple juice actually leaking out a little bit of that, which is, you kind of don't want that. All right, boy, they are looking really, really good. Now, additionally today, we are using this Killer Hogs barbecue sauce. You can tell I love this brand, Killer Hogs. This is Malcolm Reed. I think he does incredible stuff. And I have some of this barbecue sauce. So what I'm going to do with it is I have some of it in here. I'm just going to take a little bit of this, and I'm not killing it. I'm just putting just a little bit on the top of it, okay? This is just for a little bit more taste on there, and these are what are known as wet ribs because you're putting barbecue sauce on there. Some people like them completely dry. If that's the case, you use nothing but the rub and don't use any barbecue sauce. And then I'm going to hit just a very thin layer on top of that. So now these are going to go back on there, but I'm not going to close all of this up. I'm going to tear a little bit of this and just leave it open. Okay? I want to leave part of this open right now. I'm going to bring this off of here. And some of you are probably better at wrapping like this than I am, so you probably wouldn't have to do this. But again, this is going to stay open. It goes back right here. I leave it open this way. And now, my friends, 3, 2, we're down to 1 more hour, and we're going to have us some ribs. Get ready for this. All right, right, it has been the 3, 2, 1. It has been the extra hour. We have just pulled the ribs off. I want you to see a little bit of this. Look and see how the bones now are exposed. The meat, it's pulled back against those bones. And I mean, it's doing really well. Internal temp that you're going for, which is good. We're at about 171 on these right now. Anything above 165 is done. And realize the higher it goes, if it goes up to 190, that's okay. The higher that temp goes, the more it's going to fall off the bone, which these are really, you can see they're falling apart right now. You can see how those ribs are bending and everything. That's what you want out of these ribs. I'm going to put these into a cooler just like this, and we're going to let these sit inside this cooler. This is actually a party stacker. A lot of people put ice and drinks in here for parties, but today we're using ribs and putting those ribs in there, and they're going to sit in here for about a good 15-20 minutes, and after that, to the cutting board they go and into our mouth. After 6 hours, I don't know about you, I hope you're as hungry for ribs as I am, because this stuff is about to be really, really, really good. You're not going to believe this. Hang out. Okay, so we did the 3, 2, 1 method on these ribs, and they're all done now, and I've tasted some of them. But here's the test. My mentor, my ultimate barbecue guru, is here now. He's not been here for this process. He's been working at Ace. But Harold, you kind of look, you see a little bit of the smoke right there. The smoke ring's on there.
I do.
But I want you, if you would, I'll let you cut into these. And the real thing is, does my mentor think they're okay?
Sounds great. Looks awesome. Color's great. The rub stuck to it really well.
Yeah, the mustard worked great.
Yeah, I mean, I have found it is one of the best binders that you can use. Leaves no flavor, but yet it does hold the rub to it. And I mean, you know, if you're just judging these, one of the things they judge is color. That's a beautiful rib.
Good.
So
good. Well, let's see what you think as far as the taste go. I believe that's about right where it is, but I'm going to let my mentor tell me what he thinks of this. And be honest, you know, because I need to learn with this too.
Yeah. That's a perfect rib.
All right.
So,
yeah.
very good.
All right.
Really good.
Okay, well, there we have it. This is ribs. This is How to Grill. I'm Ken.
And I'm Harold.
You can do ribs at home too. Give it a shot. I promise you. You'll never go to a rib restaurant again. Or if you go to a restaurant, you won't be ordering ribs, because you know what you do at home will be better.
That is true.
Thanks for joining us.